KJ in the paint, floater from 14. Count it, whistle and a foul from behind. Spencer Jones bumped him. And KJ Simpson is getting off to De Silva on the right wing. Hands off to KJ. Michael Jones nearly got away. KJ driving on his right of the hoop. Layup is up and good. 17 seconds remaining. KJ Simpson knifing in for the right side. Muscled through contact and laid it up and in. The Buffs are on top by one. 71-70 with 18 seconds remaining here in Northern California. And Colorado steals a win over the Tree.
Back in the Buffalo Stampede television show, the Buffs got a nice road victory opening up their swing through the Bay Area with a come-from-behind 73-70 win over Stanford. Now, the next ball game at Cal didn't quite go the Buffs' way, and so come home with kind of mixed results, if you will. Tad Boyle not happy about that game against the Cal Golden Bears. They're back home now for the Oregon schools coming to town. And here at Corelli's for Buffs Primetime on Monday night, we talked with Tad Boyle about that tough road trip through the Bay Area. Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
We've always talked about one step forward, two steps back. We took one step forward, 5 steps back this weekend. I really believe that. So really a bitter taste that doesn't get out of your mouth until you get on the practice floor, which we did today. But it's going to still linger until Thursday night when we tip it off against Oregon. And it's going to be, okay, what are we going to do then? You know, what kind of improvement? And I told our team today, I think it's important that our supporters know that, you know, there's a lot of people that invest in this program. They invest in their scholarship donors. They invest in season tickets. They invest their time. They invest their, you know, emotions. And we're not giving them a return on their investment, and that disappoints me as a coach, because that's something I take personal. You know, I appreciate the support that we get, but we got to return, you know, the effort that we give every single night on the floor to our fans, and we failed them against Cal. We didn't fail them against them, and it's not always winning. It's not just judged on winning. It's just judged on our demeanor, our toughness, you know, what we're bringing to the table every night. And when we fall short, you know, I take it personal.
Is this team, and here you're in your 13th season now here at Colorado, as perplexing as any team you've had? And I asked that based on this. It's a very talented team, undoubtedly.
We've got some talent.
Yeah.
We're not by far not one of our more talented teams.
Sure.
By far. We've got some talented players, but top to bottom, this is not one of our more talented teams. But we're skilled.
Sure. This team has shown it can play at a high level.
Absolutely.
Right? You get a win, win against number 11 Tennessee comes to mind. Number 24 Texas A&M. But kind of does this up and down depending on, you know, which way the wind blowing kind of thing. Is that perplexing?
It's frustrating because you know what you're capable of, but you're not getting it day in and day out. You're not getting it night in and night out, and that's frustrating because again, that's my job as the coach, is to make sure we're ready every time we take the floor, and we have been for the I've up until the Cal game, I didn't feel like we ever, even when we didn't play well against Boise, it wasn't because we weren't competing and playing hard. And I didn't feel like it's not like we didn't compete or play hard against Cal, but we just did not have that toughness mindset. And that's the biggest thing with me. You know, we're going to have Javon Hadley on, and we'll talk about him, I'm sure, as we get closer to having him on his segment. But, you know, he's a guy that you never have to worry about with toughness.
Right.
You know, and that's – but we need that from everybody. And against Cal, you know, is the defensive. You know, when you got a team that's averaging 58 points a game that hangs 80 on you, they're averaging 40% field goal percentage, and they shoot 58 on you. And 2 nights later, Utah holds them to 43 points.
Right.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong with you and your defense, and so that's the challenge that I have laid at my feet. And guess what? I'm ready for it. You know, we're gonna get it. We got after it in practice today. We're gonna do it tomorrow. We're gonna do it on Wednesday, and my God, I hope we're better on Thursday.
So how do you approach that, Tim? Because I don't know. Is it safe to say it's not a physical thing? It'd be more of a mental thing, or how do you?
It's a pride thing.
It's
about what's right here in your chest, that ticker, and you have enough pride to rectify, you know, what just went on. Do you have the self-awareness? Because I think there's a little bit of a disconnect. You know, Coach Rowan mentioned it today in our meeting, our film session, which wasn't real pleasant. but I think there's a disconnect with who our players think they are and what they are. Because again, you are what your record says you are. We're 9-6, 1-3 in the Pac-12, bottom half, close to the basement.
Right.
There's a disconnect. Our players don't think that's who they are, but that's who they are right now. That's who we are. That's who I am. I'm the head coach of a 1-3 Pac-12 team, and there's no getting away from that. So what are we going to do about it? That's the real critical question I ask myself every night before I go to bed and every morning I wake up.
Before we let you go here, you got Oregon coming to town.
Yep.
They always come in with talent. We well know that.
Oh, yeah.
They've had their ups and downs this season. Is this based upon what we've been talking about? This is a game you're more focused on the Buffaloes than you are the Ducks?
Well, we'll have a scouting report for Oregon, and we've had success against them at times in the past. They play a matchup zone, and they kind of junk it up defensively on makes and misses. They try to keep you off balance, but they're a team a lot like us, I think, with the standards and expectations internally that are a little higher than what they've achieved so far this year. So two teams that are hungry for a win, and it's kind of a separation game in my mind. Every game becomes a separation game when you're 1-3 because you don't want to separate yourself you need to scratch and claw your way into the top half, and the only way to do that is by taking care of your home court advantage. And Oregon got us here last year for the first time. It was the only game I missed because of COVID, but still they got us here in the event center, and so we need this game, and it's not going to be easy. Dane Altman's a hell of a coach. They got good players. Will Richardson, 4-year starter, and Fale Dante, big-time talent. They got some dudes.
There's the head coach of the Buffaloes, Tad Boyle, as we had Buffs Prime Time on Monday night here at Corelli's as we continue on the Buffalo Stampede television show. Coming up on Thursday night now, the first of two games against the Oregon schools. The Oregon Ducks on Thursday at 7 o'clock at the Event Center. We're going to hit the air at 6:30 with the Buffs warm-up pregame show on the Colorado Basketball Network. We're going to continue talking men's basketball next. We'll be joined by a guy who might be as consistent as anybody in the Buffs this season. Junior college transfer Javon Hadley going to join us next.